Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Freedom TV, and we are reporting. We are trying to summarize the summarization of Mazen Namdekano's court case on the 16th of February, being yesterday, 2022. If you're joining me, I'll ask you to share this video. Before we proceed on this very program, I would like to remind most of you who might not be aware of the conclusion in the court yesterday. The court has adjourned to the 8th day of April 2022. And here on Freedom TV, we are bringing to you all of the things that happened yesterday. But before we proceed to the things that happened in court yesterday, and on the agents of distractions in this very honorable IPOB family, I would like to start this morning by playing this video. This is what the governor of Borno State, Governor Babagana Zulum, said 4 days ago. I want to play to you this video because this is one of the reasons why Mazen Nandekano has been in incarceration. And for most of you who are joining or who are wondering, what court case are we talking about? We are talking about Mazen Namdekano, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. But before we proceed, let us watch what Governor Babagana Zulum said 4 days ago.
Number this one in some parts of the state, it's a matter of great one. All the contributions of the federal government, we still have some challenges. One, I said it even before, that growing number of this one in some parts of the state, it's a matter of great concern to everybody. Where? In the shores of the Lake Chad.
This is lies. I want you all to understand when he said that 2 local governments in Borno State are not occupied by human. I want you to ask that man, the governor, a question. What chased out the villagers from their villages? Because something happened. There is no way you can tell me that people who had been inhabiting in a land for decades or centuries, then all of a sudden They all left their villages for no reason. They all left their villages because of the ISWAP and the Boko Haram attacks. And the funny thing is, this same man who is making this claim, who is saying this thing, this same governor of Borno State, 2 days ago went to visit Aso Rock and thanked Buhari, if at all there is any. Thanked him of a job well done he's doing. You know why I played this video? This is not what I want to talk today. But I actually played this video to enable you, to understand the mess you are in as a person, as a Nigerian. And also to understand the roots and the cause of the agitation for Biafra. The reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is agitating. Because this man, look at what these people are doing. You are a governor who respects the constitution. Okay, you were elected to protect the rights and the lives and the well-being of your people. Now, over 2 local governments have fled their villages, out of their villages, and truthfully, in the truth sense of it is this. ISWAP has laid siege of the villages. That is why. That is the reason why the local government have left their bases. So, but let us continue. Let's continue to listen to this man. Let's continue.
Which is the headquarters of ABBA local government. And again, Gudumbali, headquarters of Mairari local government. We are not saying that these 2 local governments are under the control, but these 2 local governments are not under human occupation. We need support from the federal government to support the relocation of these people to these local government areas. This committee that has been constituted by the federal government will look into these matters, among others. We want clearance of the shores of the lecture. Again, in conclusion, while the challenge of insecurity is being solved gradually, it is not yet over. I said it time without numbers that in addition to what we are doing, I said it time without numbers that there is a need for government of Nigeria to rethink and look into the possibility of hiring mercenaries. I said it time without numbers. There's nothing wrong.
Mercenaries. Right? Most of you don't understand these people. They want their government to hire machineries. The machineries the government is hiring are the people. All these people are together, you Biafrans. The reason why I started this, there are people I watched who bragged a lot of things yesterday. I saw an imbecile who is fed by a woman in Finland made all manner of destructive broadcasts yesterday. And the reason why I started this program like this is to, first of all, let me remind you that I am not doing this for your viewership. But if you follow me, I appreciate it. But I don't connive or corroborate lies to feed to the audience or to the public just to enable you like what I say. Because always something about this life I needed to know. Truth hurts. Because lies is much more accepted by the general public. You can make people easily amused with your lies, but with truth, you cannot. You know, why I made this broadcast starting with this is because it's for us to understand the reason, to enable the viewers to understand the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is speaking the minds of Biafrans, because I personally think this is time that we Biafrans should stop, should stop believing or calling this Lego battle between we Biafra and Nigeria as Mazi Kanu's case. No, we should refer to it as Biafra versus Nigeria case, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is speaking the minds of 80 million Biafrans. Okay? Now, a lot of things happened yesterday in court because our son, who is Mike Ozokome, Initially, court was supposed to be seated yesterday to argue the competency of the jurisdiction to try Mazen Namdekano, which means a kind of, to enable our mothers to understand better, it's a kind of. Now, this court is charging this man, Mazen Namdekano. What we are challenging is that this court is not supposed to be trying Mazekano. Why? Because the government who wants to try Mazekano abducted him from Kenya. This was the reason for yesterday's court proceedings. This was the reason. Though, because of the system of the government of Nigeria, because they don't have any case against our leader, all they want to do is continue delaying him, continue delaying him, continue delaying him. And that's why they removed that very charge that he was insulting the president of Nigeria. That was the reason they removed it, because they understand that it will be laughable to the international communities more. Why? Because how can you say you are prosecuting somebody because he insulted your president? It's laughable. And the second reason, and the main reason why they removed it, is because they understand that Buhari is dead. Because they added that charge of insulting President Muhammadu Buhari when Buhari was alive. You remembered in 2015 that Mazen Namdekano, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, was arrested. And was then they added the charge that he insulted the president. And now you all understand that they have removed it. So, removing it is because they understand one thing. Sorry, two. One is that Buhari, who will stand the ground to say you insulted me if at all, is dead. So they don't want to proceed with that because they know they cannot finish it. And the other reason is because when you say you are practicing democracy and now you are prosecuting somebody who has insulted the president, is that really democracy? And that will make them look silly in the eyes of the world. That is why they removed that charge. So yesterday, the proceeding was supposed to be challenging the competence of the jurisdiction in trial of Mazekano, which means we, the defendant team, we are asking and we are telling the court that because of the fact that Mazen Namdekano was not legally arrested, therefore he do not deserve to stand trial in the same court. You know that few days ago, the Kenyan government has filed a claim that Mazekano entered Kenya on the 12th day of May, right? So if he entered Kenya on the 12th day of May, but since then, there has not been any proof that he has departed Kenya, because there must be immigration document, which means somebody arrives in the country and someone leaves. But the immigration documents, according to the immigration document, Mazekano entered Kenya on the 12th of May, 2022. So, what happened to him? You know that at the beginning of all these processes, Kenyan government told Nigeria that even if you are coming here to abduct him because of our cooperation, because of our diplomatic cooperations, if anything comes up, we cannot defend. And that's where we are now. But my main problem to you or with you, Biafrans, is more of this. There is somebody who is putting distrust and distraction between us. And I'll still touch there, because this is the main part and the main reason why these people want to continue doing this way. Somebody might ask me how. How is because as we are distracted and as divided as we are now, the system and the game plan of Nigerian government is not to proceed with the hearing of Kanu or the trial. No. The system is to continue delaying him because they know that Mazikan is like Odudu Benamo, like Igbo people call it, Odudu Benamo. When you kill it, it's problem. If you pull it off, it's problem. So they want to continue delaying Mazekano until the next president comes in, because they don't know what they will do with him. They understand that he has got every evidence of the death of Buhari. And how can they achieve this goal is by distracting us, by dividing us, by instead of first analyzing and even asking the government of Nigeria to try our leader in public and not in hidden, not in secret. I watched a video which an idiot fed by a woman somewhere in Finland made yesterday, accusing even the families of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu that they connived together to betray Mazi Kanu. You all remember that 3 days ago, just 3 days or 2 days ago, if I'm not mistaken, on this very same person's quest to make our Lego team lack concentration on the task at hand, they started launching attacks on our Lego team. Why I am making this here for you to understand, if you're a true Biafran that have believed in the mission of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I am making this here, and I will play this video because it's very, very disgusting. I must tell you, it's very, very disgusting to say that Emmanuel Meme Kanu, because he goes to the court, because he stands with his brother in court, that means he's against Biafra. That means he's against our leader. That means, according to him, I would like to play this video. I would like to play this video. Just hold on one moment if you're following me. Because it's better I play it, you listen by yourself, then I continue with the analysis I want to give to you. So that if, and the reason why I want to play this is, if you're part of those who, because a few days ago we were in Rome, 2 days ago we were in Rome to protest. And there were enough turnout, but not as we used to. And that is consequent of somebody dividing and distracting us. And that is really what this very government wants. They want us to be distracted. They want us to be divided so they can achieve their aim, which is continuous holding of our leader in detention while they continue to operate. And mind you, before I continue with praying of this video, like I said, mind you something. What you have to mind is that this is 2022, which Dr. Obadiah, my laugh here if you remember, which they killed. None of you, maybe many of you don't know, he was assassinated by the Nigerian government. Secretly so. The media don't even want to tell us that this man had been assassinated after he reviewed this, the topic and the agenda of the Fulanis that are controlling the government. So, before I proceed with this, I want you to understand that this revelation this man made is not to be taken for granted. This revelation this man made shouldn't be forgotten so fast. And that was the reason why they killed him. So since they have killed him because of the revelation he made, why don't we continue to remember that this revelation is very important? And this revelation, he said, maybe I'll still get to play this later on, but let me say it with my mouth. He said that Fulani's plan is to start a civil war in Nigeria. And the reason why they want to start a civil war is because they believe, according to Governor of Kaduna State, which he said in 2020, that their mission is to bring all the Fulani herdsmen, all the Fulanis, because you know that Fulanis are not only located in Nigeria. Fulanis are all across Africa, in case you don't know. So you have to understand that their game plan is to bring all of them to settle in our land. And how can they bring them? Is by fighting a civil war. Is by inviting their brothers to them to help them to fight. And when they are done, all of them will settle in our land. I don't know if you know this. And for them to achieve this simple goal, our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has to be put behind. And they have now abducted him. And for them to be able to put him behind, they have to distract and divide us. And this is why I want us to understand this. This is why I think this is the right time for us all to desist from rubbishes that doesn't matter. This is the right time. I must tell you. Let me look if I can see. I tried to get you this video this man made yesterday because some of you love gossip. And our leader has been saying it. Our leader has been saying that most and many of us loves gossip. And this gossip is what they have used to get us, because they understand that we, as Igbo man, as a Biafran, you always like to be justified of everything you do. You know, you always love somebody, especially when it comes to money. Most of you always bring your it's just a without even minding, without even caring if this money, because sometimes I ask a question, this money that most of you are bragging, does it really worth more than the freedom of our leader, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? Because it was because of money that the division came in. That was where they came in. All of this money that most of you has put in your attentions, that made you, many of we living abroad, no longer go for protest. Because we believe that those person that took money has squandered it. We believe this. Is this money worth more than your freedom? I am sure if some of you are asked to sacrifice billions upon billions for freedom of Biafra, I am sure that many of us will peacefully and happily do that. But for we now to focus on the task at hand, they use the money aspect to divide us, to enable them achieve their common goal. Just give me a moment. Hold on. Stay tuned. I'm going to bring to you this video. Try to bring it so you all can understand. Because I want to clear something here. Somebody said, this is a person that says he's a lawyer. I don't know if I can get the right place of the clip. I want to get the right place so that you all can understand. Somebody that says he's a lawyer, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a legal practitioner. Hold on, please. Hold on. I want to bring this to you. Just a moment. Because this issue needs to be addressed. Okay. I think.
Pilot we are working with. Accountability. So they prefer to kick Oyibo out. That Oyibo is somebody that cannot go and say, do you know that every month we are receiving 2,000 euros? So how are you going to be paying that? Oyibo will say, my friend, you know you are fighting for your freedom. Get out of my face. They cannot do that. And of course, if you ever wondered why is it that upon all the disobedience of these women against our leader, Chike Doziem shamelessly went back to them. I want you to listen to what I'm about to do today. It is because of this particular exposition I have come to.
What exposition, what exposition are you doing when our leader is in incarceration? I don't understand. What exposition, what benefit would the exposition, if I may ask some of you, maybe someone here can help me to answer this question. What would the exposition do? I want to understand. But this is not where I want to get. I want to get to where he said that because of the fact that Emmanuel Kanu can come to court freely, that means he hates our leader. That is where I want to get. That is where I want to understand.
Chike Doziem could not address Biafrans with all sincerity.
So, after, listen, yesterday, it was only 2 media team that went into the court, Federal High Court, Abuja, yesterday. Do you know that? Do you know that many of, even Aloy Ejimako was not allowed entry into the court, which is a complete and a total violation of human rights and the legal right, and even as a lawyer and as a legal practitioner, Now, you do not find something wrong here. All that you find, all that you think should be addressed is Mazi Chike Doziem. Is this really not rough, not anything for you to understand that there is somebody that this very agent of the neo-colonists are using to divide us? But I understand that our leader has made it clear several times that black man, black people, we as a black people, that we love money than ourselves. That when we are giving money, we forget everything. But let's proceed. Let's proceed. I want him to finish his exposition as much as he can. Then I will continue to analyze to you that wants to hear. It's not you that is more interested on a million viewership, like he said. Yesterday, he also bragged about viewership, that he have billions of viewership. He also bragged a lot of things, which I will be analyzing today. But I would like you to listen. Don't listen with sentiment. If you want to understand where this man in Finland is going, you don't have to follow him with feelings that you so much love our leader. I must advise you. You must have to follow him with the simple fact, common sense, reason, think. Think yourself. Yesterday being the 16th day where our leader went to court and his lawyers were not allowed access to the courtroom. Media houses were not allowed access to the courtroom. Somebody you say who is fighting for you has nothing to condemn, has nothing to talk about it, but to talk about exposition. Every day you exposition. Every day you expose. What the hell are you exposing? Listen.
He said very, very vaguely that, okay, that was an arrangement of issue of Neneanya. So there is some kind of something that is being paid to her, but he could not answer Biafrans who were contributing money, and this money is being paid to Neneanya as probably may not be salary. So Chike Dozem did not tell the name of the money that they are paying Neneanya. Rather, he said, well, I will not go into detail, but yes, there was some kind of agreement. That doesn't show transparency. That does not show transparency because he don't want to mention the name.
If I may ask this boy, because we all know this boy doesn't have work or just all these guys in our church and our channel, but we understand them. Because if you have a work, but if I may ask you a question concerning the transparency you're talking about, if I may ask you a question, do you want Chike Doziem to come and account for you? Who are you? Who are you? I want to understand. And why haven't you, or did you not raise this same transparency and all these nonsenses when our leader was free? And even if at all, according to you and your claims, that these people don't want to work for release of our leader, according to you, okay? Why don't you work for the release of our leader your own way? A few days ago, we were in Rome. I never seen any protest in Helsinki, where you live in Finland, okay? So now, I want you Biafrans to understand more that the Nigerian government, maybe directly or indirectly, I must tell you all, why I continue to say directly or indirectly is something, is this. Because sometimes your ego can make you destroy something you're building. It might not be out of direct pain. It might be just out because your ego makes you to believe you're better than other people. The reason why that triggered all this nonsense is because this man believes he's much more vocal than Chike Doziem. He believes he's much more competent to lead than Chike Doziem. But your beliefs doesn't determine the qualification. You can believe something, I can believe something. That doesn't mean what you believe is the way it should be done. That you believe that Chike Doziem is not as strong as agile like you think in your belief. That doesn't mean that you should hijack him, blackmail him, blaspheme him, use every manner of insult. Because for me, I have more concern. Why shouldn't our leader be tried in public? Why shouldn't even Nigerian public? This is what Nigerians should be asking. We have the right to go to the court and attend court proceedings. Here that I live in Italy, sometimes I go to court. to hear certain things because I want to understand more about how the governance system works. So it's your right to go to the court. It doesn't matter who is being tried. Why don't we talk about the charges that were removed? Why are you removing the charge that Masekano insulted Buhari? Why did you remove the charge? Why do you not see something wrong with this? Let's continue. I want him to get to where he said that because Emmanuel Memekano goes to court freely and faces no intimidation, that for now he's against us. I want us to get there.
For only God knows. So today I have come to expose Chike.
It's funny.
To social media to tell you how 500 euro soup look like. I do not know whether, I don't know the kind of soup that somebody will cook with 500 euro in Germany. Somebody who is not, do you receive whatever in the name of not salary but something else? Because
I want you, Biafra, to understand something. So he just mentioned what I've been saying. Plate washer. He called himself a plate washer. He called himself a plate washer. Listen, but you don't understand this.
It is a grant. I don't know whether it is a stipend or ESTA code. That is the word of the Nigeria criminal and corrupt politician. ESTA code. I want to travel. I need ESTA code. So today I have come to use the confession of one of the chieftain of IPOB who cannot just lie like that. I am not Darlington. If you try me, Chineke megihe, because I am a child of God. I am a special child. When he was born, he is not an ordinary man as an elderly person today. So I am just telling you for the very first time how Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was born, if you don't know. He was born in a very sacred forest. That is why nobody born of a woman will kill him. So when you people are talking about killing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I will laugh at you. Because what I know, you don't know it. Okay? He was born in a sacred forest. Without any midwife, without any nurse, without nobody. That was how Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was born. Do you know that? You don't know. I want to he come out and speak to us, your juju will disappear. So if you come out, make sure he does not speak to us, which is impossible. Because he can't stay without speaking to us until Dakenda come. Any day he come and speak to us, all the juju you use, because some of you are going to be the one to meet him the first. Every juju will disappear. But let me tell you one thing today. I told you that even your wife will send me your audio to use against you. the time has come. If the IPOB family members from Finland, when they were having meeting, that our leader, Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, is comfortable in DSS dungeon, that all the things you see they are doing on social media is propaganda, that our leader is very comfortable. I'm telling you, this is what
You are telling us, let's listen, please. I'm sorry for the interruption. I just want us to get it's here I've been looking for. I want him to tell us that I can never remember the last time the DOS or anybody in IPOB has said that our leader is good. If he's good, what are we fighting for? If he's good, what are we fighting for? I could remember that this guy is feeding you with lots and lots and lots of lies. Because I can remember when our legal team filed a petition asking the court that DSS grants our leader freedom to his worships, to practice his belief, to enable him read, to enable him change clothes. I can recall many times that our lawyer Jimako had said in the past concerning I have read as surprising to me. You know, that's why it is a kind of to hear that claim from him. And I hope you Biafrans who are following me can understand this. I hope most of you who always accuse me when I write or when I post or when I make a video like this can understand this. And also ask yourself, when had or has any of our legal teams said that our leader is enjoying? Aside from the DSS personnel who always say that our leader is having VIP treatment in custody. Aside from him, I can never remember any other person in this IPOB, be it the leadership, be it the DOS, be it any other people, say that our leader is enjoying. This is where I want to address before I bring you the interviews of our leaders, our lawyers as well. This is where I want to address this particular place. Let's go on.
what Agbanim told a Finland family when they were having it, because people were worried. Agbanim told them they should not worry that our leader is fine. He's enjoying. That all these things we are doing on social media, we are just doing propaganda against Nigeria. Only to just calm the people down. And there are 12 in number. 12 people. 12 people. Those people can come here to testify what I'm talking about. Abraham told them, 12 good people, 12 head, told them that our leader is comfortable in DSS dungeon. That what IPOB is doing are propaganda. So these people should not worry. They shouldn't worry about Mazin and the 12 people. Today, people are getting this.
For one thing at least.
So if I want to ask a question, if you're following here, if you mention Abanya or whatever, but I have more concerns. If it is true, I don't know why the internet is interrupting me, but I must continue. I was saying, if it is true, as he claimed, that ABBA said our leader is good and it's okay, it's nice. Now, ask a question and ask him this question. Why then do our legal counsel file different petitions in court concerning the treatment of our leader in custody? This is a question I want to ask. I hope you ask this question before you start to autopilot. I hope you settle down, ask certain questions too. Okay? If our leaders is in good situation like he's claiming, why do Aloy Ejimako? Because it was because of okay, why should the do you not ask these questions? Or have you all lost your reasonings? Why have DSS rejected the clothes? If at all this is true, you have to ask. Let's continue. Let's continue.
I hate that guy. What I say, like kidnapping of my leader. I cut my finger. I can't take it. Doesn't get ready.
Okay.
At least 1%.
People are taking. You are hearing it. Okay.
Uncle, but the people doesn't like him. He don't have crowd. Nobody care for him.
Nobody cares. That is
Nobody
true.
likes him. I don't like him myself.
Okay.
We just they respect him because uncle because Onyendu Korea DOS.
Onyendu cannot call him again.
But from this line,
Onyendu cannot call him again. Onyendu have left him. I'm telling you, the first thing Onyendu is going to do if he come out, and when he come out, is to sack and expel Chike Doziem. I swear to God, the first thing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will do is to expel Chike Doziem. Go and mark it. Go and mark it somewhere. Go and mark it. The first thing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will do is to expel Chike Doziem. So don't give him respect.
Do you now understand where he's going? Or you're still blind, you still cannot see. You still cannot see what he said. That once Mazi comes out, that the first thing he would do is to expel Chike Doziem. Why don't you wait, let him come out? I ask. Why don't you wait for our leader to come out and then do that? But I assure you, dear friends, that all the reason why he's doing this is very clear. This is why I want to analyze the video he made. But I still want him to get to where he said. Maybe I will leave there to save your internet, your data as well. Let me say it with my mouth. This man yesterday, I hope if you have been following me, you have watched a couple of things he said yesterday. This was after. This was completely after. Excuse me. This was after Nigerian court couldn't allow our lawyers access to the courtroom. This is after journalists couldn't go into court. And the night after the court, all a disciple of our leader had to do was only to come online and say that he's exposing Chike Doziem. And we as a people don't find something wrong with that? I ask you. I want to show you all today, according to what he just said. He will be the first person to be expelled as soon as it comes out. And I bet myself and my life in this. Maybe he doesn't like Chike Doziem. They don't work together because there is something about life. Sometimes you will see somebody, you don't just like him. Sometimes you see somebody, it's not like you hate him, but the spirit doesn't match together. So why don't you let that person be? Why don't you do your things the way you think you can do it? Why don't you focus on your own? But before you that is sheepishly following somebody like this, I repeat, this plate washer, because if he had had a job, Like today, I have night work I have to do. That's why I am talking today in the morning. You cannot tell me that every morning, every afternoon you're online to talk. That is because you benefit from there. That is because you gain from there. That is because you feed people from lies. And from there, they contribute to your living, to your survival as a person, because you've got no work. And that is the main reason. And somebody will ask me, like he claimed yesterday, that was something he said yesterday. He says some of them that are tackling them do not have viewers. I laughed off and said, it is simple. You are selling viewership. And for social media, there is something about social media. For you to get viewership, all those things, you have to sell lies. Because people love lies. He said the reason why people are coming to hear from him is because it's true. No, because you are lying. Because there is something we all know about life. This is natural. People love lies. They prefer lies to truth. It takes time for truth to prevail. But the only thing about truth is that it must prevail. But for it to come, it doesn't work so fast. Truth doesn't work out so fast. Lies are welcome to the life today. Use COVID-19 as an example. The world took those lies. Until today, the truth has never been prevailed. We still wait that truth will prevail. And that is where we are going. That is where we are. I want you to understand that somebody on the post court of our leader, all he had to do is to expose the leadership of IPOB. And I ask a question to you, Biafrans who are such gullible. I ask you a question. What protest had this man led in solidarity with Mazikan? None. What steps had he taken to make sure our leader is released? None. He will continue to call in the name of I was explaining before I started playing this video, that our enemies are holding us. How? Because they don't want to judge our leader's case. So for all of us coming here, for all of you coming on social here, to do our leader this, listen, our leader will never be released if you continue going to listen to gossips. Our leader can never be released if you use, because of the fact that you were expelled from the IPOB family and now you are working against it. Because expel, our leader has been expelling. When our leader was free, he used to expel people, and after he still reconciled with them when they realized their mistakes. When you expelled from this very family, it's for you to rethink and retract your steps and come back, if truly you are true. That our leader asks you to broadcast on Radio Biafra platform doesn't mean a mandate. It's a recommendation. And a recommendation doesn't mean mandate. But there is somebody who has come just a few months ago, I must say, and wants to reap the labor of other people. How can that work? And it was from there that our enemy has got to us. But still on this issue, I want you to understand that on the 8th of April 2022, the same thing will proceed. The same thing will happen. Because we are not doing what we are supposed to do. And they will all tell you the reason is because of Chikedozium. The reason is not Chikedozium. The reason is Simon Ekpa. Because he is the one putting division, mistrusting you, that you no longer trust your leadership, that you no longer trust the process, that you are so much in haste for our leader to be free. Do you not know that as a freedom fighter, that you've got three places? If you haven't got the freedom, one is prison, one is detention, one is exile. Why do we let people whom their aim in this family is to lead? I don't have problem if you can lead us well, lead. But do not blaspheme another person because you want to lead. And do not hijack what you never built. There was what he also said yesterday. He said that because of the fact that Emmanuel Meme Kanu can go to the court and DSS do not intimidate him, that means he's against the structure. But I want to say you something, because some of you don't know about how law works. Now, a few days ago, Kenyan government made a publication that on 12th of May 2021 was the day Mazi Kanu entered into their country, and that till today they haven't got any proof of his departure. That means he's still in Kenya. That's what it means in the practical sense. He's still in Kenya. And now Nigeria government, knowing well that now, and let me even ask you, who has done the underground work that got the Kenyan government to make a declaration that Kanu entered into Kenya on 12th of May, but never departed? What triggered Kenyan government to do that? Do you think it is that Eberima, the plate washer in Finland? Do you think it is because of the claims he made on social media? The answer is no. Just like I come on social media, I don't go to the parliaments, I don't go to the court. The more support I give to this Biafra is financially and protest over here. So, was he not the same legal team of IPOB that filed case in Kenya too? Because we have Kenyan lawyers, which if you like, I can bring to you those clips of our Kenyan lawyer, that they have made proceedings concerning Nnamdi Kanu, who arrived the country. And now the Kenyan government has confirmed. This is a step forward that most of you do not understand. And that's why you're following sheepishly. That is why, because most of you in Nigeria, I must say, finds joy and respect who lives abroad more. So when you see that somebody lives abroad, you think that is all. Some of you do, not all. If not for the leadership of IPOB, they told you not to trust. How do you think the Kenyan government, could come to clear the air about Mazi Kanu? The first time they did it at the early time, saying that Kanu was never in their country. Do you remember when they said that they never had a hand in abduction of Kanu? Now, a few days ago, they still made a publication from the government source directly that Kanu entered into their country on the 12th of May. Who did that work? I'm asking you. And when it happened that Kanu was in Kenya on the 12th of May, I want you to understand this situation, because many of you are being carried away with your love for our leader. That some of you do not even know that for our leader to get us Biafra, he has to be in jail. He has to go through prosecutions. And this is one of the things, this Irma, the plate washer na Sefera, na Finland, the Lachot, why be idiot. All the family and divide it. And all of you see it as normal. All I see some of you come on social media to say is this. Who made Kenyan government, I repeat, to come and declare that Kanu entered into Kenya on 12th of May? Who made it possible? Who made it possible? Who paid to those lawyers? They asked Chike Dosian to make accounts of the finances support that he has been receiving. Who is paying these lawyers? Listen, we have Bidman's lawyers in the UK. We have lawyers in America. We have lawyer in Kenya. We have lawyer in Nigeria. We have, if we IPOB do not have lawyer, we have not less than 100 lawyers, 100 legal practitioners. Who pay them? Does Simon Eberima pay them? The answer is no. The idiot is only looking to scam you. How is he scamming you? And two things is his aim: to divide us, distract us, to enable our leader to remain in prison so that he can champion the cause. I don't have a problem if he can champion it rightfully. But you can champion a cause, a noble cause as cause of Biafra with impunity and with blasphemy and blackmail. It wouldn't work. The reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still so strong today is because he started it with truthfulness and with all fairness. So, if Kenyan government can declare that Kanu entered their country on the 12th of May and never departed, who caused it? Who did the work? Who filed a charge against Kenyan government? And what made them to respond? And you that is asking the money that is been donating, blah, 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 you want accountability of what you built or what you don't build. Because when I was younger, we used to do apprenticeship. The only person that can take account or stock of the shop is the master who owns the shop, and not customers or bypassers or other people. Only the owner of the shop has got the right to have account of the shop, which is Mazen Namdekan. You want to the problem that this boy in Alachoto Agadiwa in Finland fails to understand these days. You, as a person, you want to do your work as a broadcaster, you want to do your work as a lawyer, you want to do your work as a leader, you want to do every work concerning IPOB. And how can it work? So why is there division of labor? Even when Mazen was there, sometimes he will say to that person, let national coordinator of Italy or Germany do this and do that, because you can't be the leader, direct the radio stations, broadcast on radio stations, do the underground works. It doesn't work that way. So the same person who claims he's a legal practitioner, the same person who claims that he's Mazen Namdekano's disciple, the same person who claims that he's a human rights activist. As a human rights activist, a few days ago in Rome, there were many human rights activists, even Italians, who joined the protest. Because as an activist who believes in human rights, you must have to fight for every human being, every right of every human being, and not a particular person or people. So which steps has he taken? How many of you can ask him that question? Call him, because if I call him, he doesn't pick. If I email him, he doesn't respond. But if I buy super chat on his YouTube broadcast, if I pay for super chat and write a comment, he will still tag me as saboteur. He will thank me for subscribing or paying him money or dashing him money or gifting him money, and you still call me a sabo. And this is where we need to understand this. Ask them questions. Ask that same person who needs accountability of office or organization he never introduced or he never invented. Ask him questions. You said that because Mazi Emmanuel Kanumeme, who is the younger brother of our leader, Mazi Namdekano, goes to court and nobody torture him, nobody arrests him, that means he's against Biafra. That because if he's IPOB member, he must be arrested. But unfortunately, you as a lawyer is clueless of law. And I will teach you a few law here. Nigeria government understands very well that they have violated international treaties in abducting Mazi Kano. They understand. Both African Charter, both African Union Charter and the United Nations Charter, and even Nigerian Constitution too. Now, for that sake, and now Kenya is trying to withdraw. That is why they brought up the sudden saga of ABBA KYARI, which I promised a few days ago I'll be explaining to you. Because the reason why they brought that nonsense issue or story of ABBA KYARI, they were all staged. They were all staged, yeah? Just to do what? Because the international community have started mounting pressure on them. We requested you after court proceedings here that confirmed and giving verdict that ABBA KYARI should be renditioned to America. Why are you holding him down? But you are arresting Mazi Namdekano illegally even. Do you know that is the reason why they brought up that ABBA KYARI saga? And because ABBA KYARI is not one of them. He is a used and a willing tool. He was used to conquer the people they wanted to conquer. He's not a Fulani. So that is the reason. Knowing fully well that now we will incarcerate him, we will disgrace him to prove that there are possibilities that ABBA KYARI could be expelled to the America. Why? Because they want the American government to understand that they are transparent. They want the American government and the international community to understand or to believe that they respect the international constitution and they also collaborate. That is the reason for ABBA KYARI saga. And another thing is because they want to bring his friend socialist, who happens to be your Igbo brother, down. And that I will not mention the name, but when it starts happening, when they start implicating him on the issue, you will see this. They want to arrest him too. Because they have tried everything possible. So, but I don't have issue with that, because if him that call himself a socialist prefer if him you call him socialist prefers, instead of to support Biafran cause, he prefers to dine and wine with those that kill our people, forgetting that the same people who killed your ancestors can never allow you to live. Because Igbo people have a saying that says, "Ife buru n'oke anaghị ekwe nwa ya saa anya." That's what Igbo people said. Ife buru n'oke anaghị ekwe nwa ya saa anya, because what kills your father cannot allow you to stand. You only have to fight to kill what killed your father. So, now, let me continue with what I was explaining before the ABBA KYARI issue. The person who said that because Emmanuel Kanu could go to court means that he's against Biafra. I want to say this. Nigerian government, knowing fully well that they have violated international constitution and African constitution and even her own constitution in abducting Mazi Kanu, knowing fully well once again that the constitution stated like this, that person says he's a lawyer. He should be aware of international treaties. He should be aware of international laws, that when you are having a political problems with some opposition, that you don't have to maltreat his family, his relatives, his loved ones, consequent of that political problem. This is international constitution. I want Simon Ekberima to understand this. Maybe he knows, but he doesn't want to tell you, because you want to propagate lies and make you believe lies. So, if constitution says, let's assume I am to be a Biafran president or a candidate or a governor, for example, and then I am having issue with another opposition who happens to be a governor of, or let me say House of Reps, that it happens that I am a little bit above him. Okay? The constitution of the international governing body and African Union says you cannot use, because of our political opposition against me, against your younger brother, against his relatives. That is what the constitution says. Even Nigeria constitution says that. Maybe I don't know the charter, but I'm 100,000,000% sure this is what the constitution says. Even Nigeria government, even Nigeria constitution, they don't have right against Mazi Kanu's relatives. That is what Nigeria constitution, international constitution, and the African charter also said. So you, as a legal practitioner, according to you though, but I don't believe you are, now tag Emmanuel Kanu a saboteur because he goes to court. He courageously does what you can do by going to court. Because you, as a disciple, I thought other disciples died. Abi? Stephen was killed in Sabah, in Libya. Many of the disciples of Christ died. So why haven't you taken your discipleship down to about the High Court? I heard one stupid boy made a comment the other day, said, we need your gingering. We need you to ginger you to what? To commit homicide. We don't want anybody who cannot defend us to ginger us into war. I want us to state this very clear. To you, Biafran youth, we don't want anybody. The only person that can ginger us, or the ginger we need highest, is a person who knows that he can stand to defend our land, to defend our territory. And not you gingering us onto homicide, that when the time comes, you will flee. I want you to come down as a disciple, come down to Abuja High Court defied the order of the DSS and said, "This is your master," like Stephen did. Because all other disciples of Jesus Christ in the Bible, after Jesus was killed, or when Jesus, because before Jesus was crucified, he was justified, he was arrested, he was incarcerated. So most of you shouldn't think that he was just brought up and got crucified. No. Most of you have to understand that before Jesus Christ was crucified, that he went through court. That was when Pontius Pilate just judged him and washed his hand, right? So that means before you can come to court, you should first and foremost got arrested. So, and all these things happens after Christ was abducted. And this is what is happening to Kanu now. So as a true disciple, what stops you from standing with him? Go down to Abuja High Court. Because don't do the same thing Peter did when he was asked about him and he said, "I don't know him." Stand firm with your claims, not just exposition. We don't need exposition anymore. Because this is the time that we need revolution. This is the time that we need the people, everybody to stand up. And for us all to be able to achieve a collective effort, achievement mainly in this revolution, we need a leader. We need a strong leader. We need somebody that we can stand in solidarity with. And that is why Mazikano has gone down there to lead the revolution. So as a disciple, best thing that you should do is to leave your getting like old woman or in Finland. Leave him there. Go down to Nigeria. Join him in the Abuja High Court. And that is the greatest discipleship that you can tell me. So now on the 8th of April, before the day comes, they will start again. Their distraction, division, to enable you not to talk. But let's listen to what our barrister said. Let's listen to what our leader, barrister, said yesterday concerning the proceedings in court yesterday. Let's listen to him.
With the IPOB Lead Counsel, Ifeanyi Ejiofor Esquire. He will be here with us and as well brief us regarding today's court proceedings of the federal government of Nigeria versus Nnamdi Kanu, leader of IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra. So we are here to hear from the lead counsel of IPOB. Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, please go ahead. Tell us what transpired in court today, and as well, what we would have to look up to subsequently.
Thank you so much, Mr. My brother. Actually today,
1649.
Okay, this is a live interview.
say they had witnesses elsewhere to call. They should come bring them. So that's the simple evidence which the court, which the prosecution is relying upon today. In further amendment they carried out in 2022. So, and that evidence cannot sustain the amended state count charge. Fundamentally, there's no place in the 14 count out of the 15 count charge where it was disclosed that our client committed an offense at the point where the venue of the offense allegedly committed was disclosed. Secondly, in compounding their case, there was no place in that Fontaine count chart where it was disclosed where the information, the alleged information, constitutional incitement or whatever they call it, was received in Nigeria. There's no place it was disclosed in the charge they filed. However, furthermore, we've challenged the extraordinary rendition of our client who was abducted in Kenya on June 26, 2021, and consequently extraordinary rendition to Nigeria. This fact was exhaustively discussed. The facts of this extraordinary rendition was discussed in our objection. This is a very fundamental issue that we deny the court the decision to proceed with this case because the system was not allowed to benefit from their own wrong. The fact, the manner in which our client was abducted in Kenya without following the due process, without taking advantage of extradition proceedings, legally recognized under international instruments and conventions, before being brought to Nigeria, it's not an issue that we treated with levity. And unfortunately, the federal government never responded to any of those allegations. They never clarified as to where he was abducted, even in their account affidavits. They never made mention of any facts as to a rebuttal of our allegations about.
It's 1653.
Application and consequently discharge and acquit our client who has committed no offense unto law. Because we also of the view, going by what we have before the court today, that the pro evidence attached to charge, which is the live line, which gives the charge line live, is not sufficient enough to warrant the calling of our client to enter the witness box established.
It's 1654.
That we observe. I wish the court have been invited to look into. So, of course, during the proceedings, you hear the court mention the fact that we raise several judicial issues that will take our time to look into and address squarely. So, and if the court will find our application meritorious on the 8th of April 2022, the court will strike out the charge applied, and acquit him. Then we'll go home with him. And we're hoping that that will happen on 8th of April 2022. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. During the justice ruling for today, she made mention of returning leaders' wares, those that were denied of him during the last visitation. Although he made a comment, the justice made a comment concerning the preference of clothing. So we would want you to enlighten more on that, please.
Before now, the court made another history. His clothing should be changed before today. We personally yesterday, since after the last adjourned date, at least three occasions I witnessed the new clothes they were brought for him to change. But DSS never mentioned anything to me. They never told me about the reason why they're rejecting the clothes. Until today, we had it from them in court. I made strenuous efforts to reach the director of Lego at last visit. That was last week Thursday. I was there, and eventually I spoke with him afterwards. He told me that they're going to reach. You want to discuss with the other people involved, other senior officers in the establishment, to take a decision one way or the other. But today in open court, they said it openly that they actually their practice will not allow a certain clothes with a preferred motive that they want a plain clothes. So which we didn't want to drag far because our intention is we're not in court for any form of drama. We're in court to ensure that our client is released unconditionally. So we don't want to play into the hands or play into their pranks that will automatically lead to the delay of this case. So we decided to go on with the trial, with the hearing, with the application today. But hopefully by between tomorrow and Monday, we comply with the directive given by the court to get plain clothes for him. And so I prefer us getting a clothes for him rather than for them to sew the clothes for him. So that was resolved today, and the court made it an order. So, and our client is delighted that we change his clothes soon.
That's okay. Once upon a time, the trial justice Bintanyako had ordered that the defendant, Nnamdi Kanu, should be allowed to see his doctor, should be allowed, a comfortable room, which is free from bugs, which is free, or should I say, which is at least homely, regarding the fact that the health issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu begun to deteriorate. Upon a time, we have overheard that he developed ulcer. So what do you have to tell us about that? Has there been any improvement based on that, on the fundamental human right?
There are kind of some element of compliance with the directive given by court, which called court order. So, of course, you witnessed our last 100 date that DSS reported about getting new mattresses for him, pillows, and all whatnot. So, to ensure some level of compliance with court order, because they are virtually known for flouting court orders. So they've not actually allowed his medical expert to visit him as of today. They're insisting they are using their internal medical doctors to handle his medical challenge. So on other aspects of the infraction, we have taken it up in court today. Of course, they didn't have a potential of looking at what to file because last adjourned date, they denied access to two persons who were billed to see him. So they couldn't explain to me why that was so. It's part of issues that contain our flavors before the court today. So, however, we're making progress, and we, of course, in the course of this trial, a lot of distractions will be coming in, either based on their legal strategy or based on their tactics, because they can introduce anything to derail or distract what's our approach. But we are more focused in getting our clients out. And also, other infractions that has to do with his non-compliance substantially with order of court. We reported the court, which are filed from 48 before the court, and also file affidavits in support of same. So they are all before the court. They are live today in court. So the court was more concerned, of course, so you can see the court disposition and countenance. It was more concerned today on proceeding with the main application before him. So even when the saying Chief Michael Zekome, who's leading us in the matter, and narrated our deal before this morning in the hands of the security agents, how we were delayed, how even people who are coming along with us were delayed. Nearly we have missed court proceedings today because we are trying to get clearance for them. The court actually noted them and insisted we should progress. Though towards the tail end of the proceedings, the court came back to address some of these issues, disturbing and troubling issues SIM raised. So we should be focused, and we should be mindful of the fact that what we are doing in court borders on getting our client doing the matter that kind of release unconditionally from detention. So I wouldn't want to entertain any form of distraction uh, arising from anywhere going forward. So that has been a decision worth taking, and so God being so kind to us, we get it done. And I can assure you, substantially by 8th of April, there will be uncommon victory in court on that day. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Barrister Amid, the
turn the prescription of IPOB. We'll go to the prison and bring the person back and say, please, this law has been, this prescription has been changed. The answer is no. So we have severally done it in court in Port Harcourt. I've done it personally, did it in Oka, Federal High Court, Oka, Port Harcourt, Umuahia, and name them. And the court upheld my submission to that effect, that the court cannot pronounce, cannot take further step on the charge that has to do with prescription of IPOB, because there's an appeal against that prescription. And let me inform the world today, and also by extension, everybody who cares to know, that this appeal has been scheduled for hearing, different hearing, on the 7th day of April 2022. We had a day before the ruling on application day. So we also and their support and solidarity too. So I don't think there is anything, because IPOB has no characters of terrorist opposition. Of course, the manner in which they were prescribed, obtaining a black market order at the wee hours of the night, that reference to us, it's indicating the fact that due process was not followed. Because the law is clear on organization that can be prescribed, right? Strongly led in law, and also before the Court of Appeal is coming up for hearing definitely on 7th of April 2022. So we keep you updated as we progress. So this is why we are challenging the charge, which is count 3 of the amended 15 count charge, that is the IPOB leader and the prescribed organization said no, and that was why he pleaded not guilty to the charge. And the press didn't get it correct, because the prosecution mischievously wants to mislead the public by telling the public that none can deny the being IPOB member. He never denied being IPOB member. What he denied, the fact is that he is not the leader or a member of a prescribed IPOB, because as far as concerned, IPOB is a lawful organization. Don't forget that this very court, Honorable Justice Nyako's court, ruled in 2017 that IPOB is not an unlawful organization. It's a full judgment of the court to have it today, and it's having before a court appeal. He ruled in application urging the court to strike out the charge that borders on the status of IPOB. The court in ruling said that IPOB has no character of an unlawful organization, and as such, is not an unlawful organization. So that ruling stands today. It hasn't been appealed against. Are you getting me? It hasn't been appealed against. So it's a ruling of the court which has not been appealed against. So we have built our case on facts, we have built our case on law, and we have that belief that God being on our side, we're going to succeed even in court of appeal. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Again, on the 19th of January 2022, your client, Nnamdi Kanu, was on the side of winning, or should I say won a ruling or a case in the ABBA High Court, and it is a case pertaining the fundamental human rights in the Court of Justice Benson Anya in Umuahia. One of the rulings says that the federal government and the Nigerian army, the duo should render an apology to Nnamdi Kanu. Another says that Nnamdi Kanu be to a tune of R1 billion, owing to what happened in his home state on the 14th of September 2017. So we want to know, hitherto, what has happened so far in that regard, please.
This is an order of court and a full judgment of the court, and that has been served on the federal government, awaiting compliance. And federal government is not above the law. They must definitely comply with the order of the court. Otherwise, certain steps will be taken to ensure compliance. That action was initiated by my colleague, Aloy Jimako. So, and the court delivered judgment on the merit, and it hasn't been appealed against. So, as of today, the federal government is still in contempt of the court's judgment orders, because these are the final orders of the court which they must obey. And I believe steps have been taken to ensure compliance, which are not here. I would mean. So steps have been taken to ensure compliance with those directives from the court. It's a full judgment of the court. So thank you.
Okay, finally, what do you have to tell the teeming populace of your clients in this regard and what has happened so far and what is to come?
Okay, what I can tell Umuchineka at this point in time, Oyendumazuna, the counselors, people of good conscience, people who are still loyal to him, people who are still resolute and not distracted. It's for them to remain resolute and not distracted. At this point in time, a lot will be happening. To ensure people are being derailed. A lot will be happening to show that narrative is changed. But I can assure them that victory is ours. Take it to the bank. That I can assure them. They should remain focused and believe that in no distant time, Mazinali cannot be freed. And people will see him live and direct. We are not leaving any stone unturned to ensure that that happen. No matter, there's no amount of distraction, blackmail of conspiracy of any kind that will make us to lose focus. Of course, I'm more determined than anybody. So, of course, except a person who has skeleton is covered will be afraid of any form of distraction. I'm not perturbed. I'm not afraid of anybody. Once I know I am on the side of law, and I urge them to remain peaceful, prayerful, resolute, and also to understand when distractors are coming, understand when people who are paid to distract them are coming, because this is a very critical time. People should advise themselves. This is a very critical time. People should make use of their analytics. This is a very critical. People should look very well before they leave. This is a very critical time. People should listen
Okay, so thank you. If you had joined us, this is where we will be bringing this program to an end here. But before I go, may I quickly remind you something before I go. First of all, that's why I'm wearing this my kids here. So since they are scared of us, we have to do things that will make them to be even more scared. But may I remind you, Biafran, something before I go this morning? You all have seen the situation of things at hand. You all have seen and heard what Barrister Ifani said. I want to bring you a little bit to this thing he said when Barrister Ifani was asked what the advice he could be giving to the people of Biafra. I want you all to listen carefully to this particular one as I'm bringing to the close this program this morning. Listen to the advice Barrister Ifani Jofo gave to us, and also learn. Learn. You Biafrans should learn.
To make use of their numbers. This is a very critical time who should look very well before the name. It's a very critical time who should listen with both ears. So
Make use of your number six Biafrans.
and I can assure them 100% I'm not coming. Mazin can only be that kind of doing so. We are hopeful. We are hopeful.
We in the legal team
We
are
are
hopeful
hopeful.
that
Sooner
sooner
than
than
later.
and can gain freedom. And those who have been there, we see, we give an account of that stewardship. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Okay, thank you very much. That was the voice of the IPOB Lead Council, Ifeanyi Ejiofor Esquire, talking to the Biafra Times correspondent, Chikwas.
Their number 6. This is a very critical time who should.
I want you to listen to the advice he gave to the Biafrans. Very important. These are people. The reason why I am playing these at the end of this because these are people that we should be looking up to. Not really somebody who just jumped ship and want to take over everything. Okay? These are people who are really fighting for us. Not those who are fighting on YouTube. And not really fighting, but distracting. So listen to the advice he gave to the Biafran people. Very important. Very, very important, I must say.
Blackmail of conspiracy of any kind that will make us to look for us. Of course, I'm more determined than anybody. So, of course, it's not a person who has skeleton is covered to be afraid of any form of deception. I'm not petty. I'm not afraid of anybody. Once I know I am on the side of law, and I urge them to remain peaceful, prayerful, resolute, and also to understand when distractors are coming. Understand when people.
Understand when distractors are coming, Biafran people.
Are coming. Because this is a very critical time. People should advise themselves. This is a very critical time people should make use of their number 6. This is a very critical time people should look very well before the name. This is a very critical time people should listen with both ears. So that will be my kind advice to them. And I can assure them 100% that I can be. So I am hopeful. We are hopeful. We in the legal team are hopeful that sooner than later, Namika will gain his freedom. And those who have been direct, we give account of the stewardship.
Exactly.
So much
Thank
you very much.
That
was the voice of
exactly. Thank you to the lead counsel of IPOB for that wonderful advice. Well received. I hope you all heard that very advice. Desist from distraction, desist from division. And we trust our legal team that in very soon and in short time that our leader will be released. And then that coward in Finland will be brought to book, and he will give account of everything that he's done. You know, before, when we expel you, we let you be. Our leader made it clear before he was abducted that now when we expel you, men will be on the ground to apprehend you, to make you go through what you deserve to go. So this brings to the end to this very program this morning. May the Lord bless you. And may God bless Biafra. May God bless Mazen Namdekano. May God bless every person truly fighting for Biafra, and not those that says they fight for Biafra, but in the true sense, they are in the wrong and in the bad mission of it. Distractors, dividers, and I say at the end that Biafra may come. God bless you. Have a very beautiful day. And don't forget, pray for our leader. Pray for the Lego team. Pray for the DOS. Pray for the leadership of this struggle. Pray for ESN. Pray for our mothers in the forest. And mind you that if you are one of those who goes to listen to gossip, you are listening to the doom of your people, because they've got a common aim, which is to divide us, distract us, and from there they can conquer us. But if we stand up now and realize that our simple aim and goal is freedom and nothing but freedom, no need to be checking things that doesn't matter. What matters at this very time is only but freedom of the people of Biafra and the total sovereignty of that very kingdom of God on earth, Republic of Biafra. God bless you. My name is Tony Onaga. Peace be with you.